we're going to look at solving an equation using a pan balance. A pan balance is a helpful visual model because it reminds us what an equation means. An equation tells us that the left side and the right side have the same value. So if we imagine the equation on a balance, both sides must stay balanced. Let's look at the equation 4x plus 2 plus x is equal to 5 plus 3x plus 3. Here we have our pan balance. On the left side, we're going to start by doing 4 x blocks. And we'll do those in this color red. So there should be 4 of those. We then need 2 unit blocks that I'll do in blue. So each of these represents 1. And then we have 1 more x block. On the right side, our equation says to place 5 unit blocks. We then have 3 x blocks. And then 3 unit blocks. So our balance represents our equation. 4x plus 2 plus x is equal to 5 plus 3x plus 3. The first step in solving this equation up here would be to combine like terms on each side. 4x plus x gives us 5x. So the left side becomes 5x plus 2. On the right side, 5 plus 3 gives us 8. So the right side becomes 3x plus 8. In terms of our pan balance, this says we have 5 x blocks on the left and 2 unit blocks on the left. And as you can see, that's exactly what we had before. We just rearranged the blocks. The second equation says we have 3 x blocks and we have 8 unit blocks. And once again, this is exactly what we had before. All we did was rearrange things on our pan balance. Now we want to figure out the value of a single x block. In terms of equations, our first step would be to subtract 2 from both sides of the equation. That would give us 5x is equal to 3x plus 6, since 8 minus 2 is 6. In terms of our pan balance, basically, I'm going to remove 2 from each of these sides, 2 unit blocks from each side. When we do that, the left still has 5 x blocks and the right has 3 x's, and since we removed 2 units, there will be 6 unit blocks on that side. And that corresponds to our equation, 5x minus 3 plus 6. Our next step in terms of the equation would be to subtract 3x from both sides. 5x minus 3x is 2x, and on the right, the 3x's cancel, and we have a 6. In terms of our pan balance, we're going to remove 3 x blocks from both sides of this balance. When we do that, our left-hand side will now have 2 x blocks, and that's it. The right-hand side, however, will have 6 unit blocks left after we remove those 3 x's, and that corresponds to our equation, 2x is equal to 6. In terms of our equation, our next step would be to divide both sides by 2. 2x divided by 2 is x, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. In terms of our pan balance, we're going to split each of these in half and remove half of them. When I remove half on the left, I'm left with a single x block. And on the right, when I remove half, I'm left with 3 unit blocks. So x is equal to 3. We could check this in the original equation too. If we plug in 3 for x, we would have 4 times 3 plus 2 plus 3, which would give us a value of 17. And on the right side, 5 plus 3 times 3 plus 3 would also be 17. So x equal to 3 is correct. This is a wonderful example because we can see the meaning behind the algebra steps. When we subtract 2 from both sides, we are keeping the balance equal. When we subtract 3x from both sides, we are keeping the balance equal. When we divide both sides by 2, we are still keeping the balance equal. Remember, solving an equation means finding the value that makes both sides equal. The pan balance helps us see why the same operation must be done to both sides.